Like I need to do a $2,200 week every single week because that's, you know what, $52,000 extra on top of like commission. That's pretty cool, right? So I want to give you the breakdown because one of the things is we talked about coaching appointments and really ensuring that all the effort that we put into booking appointments is fruitful for you by coaching. That's what we talked about last week and how to get bookings from your bookings. And so this past week, all I was really zeroed in on was coaching those appointments well. And really being in contact with my hostess, really stressing that her hostess credit is going to double with 2 bookings. You guys, I am now a firm believer in the Mary Kay Ash original hostess plan. With no bookings, you get 10% of the sales. 1 booking, you get 15, and 2 bookings, you get 20, as long as there's $200 in sales or more. I don't really go into those percentages. I just talk about it doubles when 2 people book. So I was just real intentional about that, real intentional about pre-profiling, and then at the party, stressing 2 bookings, 2 bookings, 2 bookings. And the hostess knows that she needs 2 bookings. So then when I'm in the individual consultations and I'm talking about booking follow-up appointment, I've got to book the follow-up appointment. Like, are you going to be the one to book we're booking a follow-up appointment, and you're going to bring friends because that way we get rid of one of her bookings. And then it's not about me, I'm doing it for the hostess. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we get in this situation and we're like, well, I don't know, I don't want to really push it on her, I don't want to blah, blah, blah. First of all, I just ask because follow-up appointments are really fun, but also, I'm doing it for the hostess. Like, it's not about me. Like, girlfriend needs your 20% in free product, you know what I mean? So that was really my focus, and it was outside of my comfort zone, just focusing on that. But like anything in Mary Kay, everything they tell you to do is right, and it works, and the results lie outside of your comfort zone. And so I had a very high average sale per face, but I think that's because being real, God totally blessed my business last week. But B, they were all women in the target market. And I coached the appointments really well. So they knew what to expect coming in, the hostess knew what to expect coming in, and I focused on selling skincare. And when you sell skincare, you have higher sales, right? Because that's what makes women fall in love with Mary Kay. So I had booked 5 parties, 4 held, and I averaged about I think $1,600 of my sales came from those 4 parties. I had 1 double facial where there were no sales, and then I did 2 double facials. I did 1 double facial with no sales, and then I did 3 individual facials that were $66, $200 in sales, and then $165 in sales. And one of those was with a current customer. At the parties, 2 were with groups of girls who I'd never met. 1 was a hostess who has been a customer of mine years ago. She came to a friend's party again in January, and then she did a party. So some of the girls were at the party were my current customers. And then the one on Friday was a woman who had been at a party 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and she booked her follow-up and invited 3 people. So I saw 26 faces total. 20 of them I had never met before. Okay. And then from that, I also got 7 future bookings, 4 of which are for the next 2 weeks. Okay. And then I had a lot of reorders, which is fun because the bigger you build your customer base, the more reorder business you get. So I had a really high reorder week, $400 or $500 in sales, which was awesome. Usually my reorders average probably $200, $250-ish a week. So that was my $2,000 week. So what is that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 bookings, but only 4 were parties. And you know how the Mary Kay formula is 3 plus 3 plus 3. So 3 parties a week, 3 sharing appointments a week, and $300 in sales a week. I'm okay, I need to do 5 parties a week every week, because what if 7 parties for the month? What if I had done 10? Or what if I had done 12? You know, instead of almost sitting at $4,000 in sales for the month, I'd probably be sitting closer to 6 or 7. Right? Like, get excited about selling Mary Kay product at Mary Kay parties. So, just, first of all, does anyone have any questions about that?
What would you say the 3 plus 3 plus 3? 3 parties, 3 interviews,
3 parties, 3 interviews, $300 in sales.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the Mary Kay Ash recipe for success, weekly success. 3 parties a week, 3 selling appointments a week, they should be parties. $300 in sales, 3 sharing appointments. Will take you anywhere you want to go on a pretty quick route. Okay. So, and the $300 a week is the first level for being a star consultant, right? So that's like 3 faces a week, 1 party. But if you do 3 parties, you're going to be a higher star and you're going to get to where you want to be even faster. So we've been talking a lot about perfect and power start. And so on last week we celebrated Lynn, who did her first power start, and she did it with parties. She just did 5 or 6 parties, and there were 5 or 6 women at each, and that's how she saw 30 faces. And so I wanted to bring, this made me think about my first power start in February of 2013. I did my first power start as a senior in college. I keep everything, so I still have the tracking sheet. I was trying to remember, I tell people it was $1,000 in sales. I think it was more like 8 or 9, but I don't know because I apparently didn't record that on here. But I know the women who are starred are the people who purchased from me. And there were like 2 weeks where I didn't see anyone because I was snowed in Boston. But you can see, like, so only 12 people of the 30 faces I saw actually purchased from me. But I still did almost $8,000 to $1,000 in sales that month. And I always say that's when it clicked for me that I could actually do Mary Kay. Who has ever done an appointment where no one bought anything? Who has done multiple appointments where no one ever bought anything? Who has had like a string of appointments where no one ever bought anything? Okay. This is not to be depressing. This is a take heart. Because that's part of the journey, right? So when you, like, there is safety in numbers. I can rely that on average, I'm gonna sell $300 in sales at a party, right? I can pretty much rely on that if I'm working in a target market. What's target market? Anyone who I would say is out of college and up. That doesn't mean I worked my business in college, so that's not what I'm saying. It's just in college, like we talked about this, you have to do double the numbers. But that's easy because they also group together more easily. So I can rely on that, but does that mean that every single party I'm gonna have $300 in sales? No, that just means I'm gonna have a 0 and then I'm gonna have a 500. Like I had a $2,000 week this week. So I'm sure I'll have some parties this week that don't go so well, but that's okay because it's gonna average out to be what I need. And when you do the numbers and you work the numbers, like there's safety in that. And now I'm at a point where I do have appointments that have $0 sales, but it's not normal. And I wanna tell you, because this is when Mary Kay clicked for me, but when I made my decision, I was pursuing Mary Kay full time, I made the decision, and one of the things that I find is whenever you make a decision that's gonna move you forward positively, like be prepared for some sort of like kickback. Now, I'm not just talking about Mary Kay, I'm talking about life in general. Have you ever had that happen? Like I'm gonna do this for me, and then something happens. Like there's a national sales director who did a Voxer, and she goes, every time I leave to go on our top sales director's trip, something ridiculous happens right before I leave. Like just something, like she and her assistant joke about it. Like just, what's gonna happen this year? You know what I mean? Like just something happens. And so maybe, you know, that's you make a decision to become a Mary Kay consultant and the people around you aren't quite as supportive as you think they're gonna be. Or some life event happens, or you know, you make a decision to become a sales director and things are going really well, and then maybe things don't go so well for a period of time. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying plan on that. It's just like Catherine was saying, the national who's doing the Pace Centers, she did like 20 parties in a row with $0 sales. She's pretty happy she didn't let that stop her. 2 years later. So all I'm saying is Mary Kay works, and all of those things are just part of the process. And when I was going through DIQ, that was probably, I learned the most and I grew the most in that process. Things did not go the way that I had planned them to go, and I had a lot of $0 appointments. There was one point in my Mary Kay career where I was like used to having no one buy anything, which you guys, like, that's not normal. Okay, like, don't try to beat me on that. But I am so glad that I had the mindset of this is what I'm doing, and all I can do is keep walking it out. Because it would have been really easy for me to say, no, the timing's wrong. Or, no, like, this doesn't work. Yes, it does. Open up Applause magazine and look. But it's nothing in success is never like this. It's like that, right? Like, we only ever see, like, the highlight reel, but every single person has all sorts of dips. So if you are in a dip right now, like, it's okay. All you gotta do is take the next step. Just keep walking, okay? And if you're on a high right now, just keep your momentum going, right? Because that's the beauty of Mary Kay. When you work hard, it covers when life happens, or you have an event. Anyways, this business works in 90-day cycles. That's the other thing. So everything you do right now, you're gonna reap results now, but you're gonna reap the full results 90 days from now. So, maybe back in December you didn't do so much, which means there maybe isn't a ton that's been happening right now because this business works in 90-day cycles. So you just start your cycle going again, and you can just always trust 90-day cycles. You can do anything for 90 days. That's why we set 3-month goals, because it's tangible and it's close enough. So just keep going. Your goal is to be flatlined in your business, okay? So you're steady and things go crazy, but your personal activity and skincare customers and just focusing on getting bookings from bookings, that's what keeps everything solid. And so we love celebrating when things go really well, because we need that. But then maybe if things aren't going the way you want them, first of all, again, take heart, you're in great company. Like, no one ever achieves what they want to achieve without some struggle. The only things that are worth having are the things that you have to struggle for at least a little bit, right? So just expect that and know that, and that's why we get together and we celebrate each other. So the last thing I just wanted to kind of talk about is, again, work full circle, make the decision now, focus on perfect and power starts, the 3+3+3, that's all you need to do. Rinse and repeat. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, a question I've been getting a lot is, what do I do when I run out of leads? Anyone? Well, some of you might not be at this point, some of you might be. I have been at this point a lot in my Mary Kay business, which is great because now I know how to get out of it and what to do and how to pivot. That's the other really cool thing. Sometimes we think we need to change everything, or like, oh my gosh, if I'm going to be a sales instructor, I'm going to have to do all of these things. No, you don't. You just have to do a little bit more of what you're already doing in a shorter amount of time. That's it. Just a little bit more of what you're already doing in a shorter amount of time. So leads. I was taught as a new consultant that you want to have minimum, really 5 different ways of getting leads at all times. Okay, so one would be referrals, one would be bookings from bookings, one would be maybe warm chat, like just meeting people as you're out and about, like the girl at the deli counter is really nice. One of my facials last week was someone at Joanne Fabrics who was like so nice, and I was in no mood to talk about Mary Kay. Like, I would get in and get out, and she was just so nice, and she complimented my jewelry, and of course it was Mary Kay jewelry. So that struck up a conversation about Mary Kay, and then I had offered her a facial, and then she came to the studio. So things like that. Oh, you're at the gym. And so that would be 3. Just meeting people you know in your circle, but you need a 5th. And a really good 5th one is facial frames and facial boxes. And we talked about this back in December, but Catherine mentioned it in her Voxer, and it reminded me. You want to have facial frames and facial boxes as one of your ways of getting leads. And a facial box, all of this is on In Touch, or I can send you more information. But a box is just for women to enter for facials that you leave at local business establishments I texted you this video actually. And then a facial frame is a number they can text to win. And one of my parties last week was a number that can text to win. So even if you only ever get one name or one text message or something like that, that's still one more than what you had. And so this way, if any lead source dries up, you still got other leads. Because I remember there was one point where I relied only on referrals, which was really great, but then my referrals started taking a weird direction, like a direction where like I would feel, I'm a phone call away from not, this just has to be like a smidgen sketchier for me to just like get in my car and drive away. Like that level of like wrong direction. You know what I mean? I've never had that situation, but I'm like, I probably shouldn't like use these referrals anymore. And so those were all my leads. So I was in a position of having to rely on warm chatting or just totally start from scratch. But if I had been more intentional about facial boxes and facial frames or getting leads in other ways, then that wouldn't have happened. So that's the other piece of advice, and I can send that out to you if you want more information. But again, there's safety in numbers, so you don't want just like, if you're gonna do facial frames, for example, you don't want just like 3, you want like 3 is great. 3 is better than nothing, but like 10, you can count on them working. 1's gonna work, you know?
In the course I was taking online with Brittany Capp, she said she built half her national area in Alabama off of facial boxes, and she had 20 out at a time. And she's like, if you're not getting anything, then you don't have enough. If you have 15, that's not enough. You need 20. So she was like a big advocate for that.
Awesome.
So now I'm doing it.
So, and Catherine's doing 10 facial boxes and 10 facial frames, and she just wants to see like which works. The facial frame is just your number, and it's like enter to win. I have it on our Dropbox, I think, or I can send it to you.
Do you offer businesses anything for, like, and people are just like, oh, yeah,
A lot of times.
yeah.
I have offered like enter to win for a free facial and a $10 gift certificate to the place, but I'm not going to do that for 20 different establishments. So a lot of times you don't want to go to chains. You want to go to like your local mom and pop, like dry cleaner and like coffee shops and things like that, because chains have rules against that sort of thing. And I literally just walk in and you look really sharp and professional, and I just walk in and I say, hi, I'm Erin. I was wondering if I could leave this on your counter for a little while. Like, can I talk to the manager? I was just wondering if I could, and they just read it. You don't need to say anything. And then they say, sure. And you drop it, or they say, no, I'm sorry. And it's like, okay, no worries, thanks. So,
This is what I'm using. Someone
oh, I love that.
posted that on the piece that is true. And you just put your phone number in it.
I love that. Will you send that to me and I can post that? That's really great. So 4 plus ways of getting leads at all times. Bye, Hannah. Okay, so how's everyone feeling? Good. All right, you guys. Mary Kay is if I could do it all over again. I have a lot further to go in my journey. I mean, I'm not done yet. We never arrive. But knowing everything that I know now, being where I'm at now, I would do it all over again, exactly the way it is, like 0 hesitation. I love what I do, and I love what this business has taught me, and I love the valleys for how sharp it made me, and I love the highs because there's nothing more exhilarating than winning. And as we wrap up another month, if you are where you want to be, awesome. Because you are just going to cruise right into March, and you just capitalize on that momentum, and you stop, and you give yourself a happy dance, and then you just keep going. Because momentum's easy to keep going. It's harder to start, right? And this business just becomes like a machine, and it just keeps rolling. You don't really have to do much besides just put your finger in the wheel to keep it going a little faster, but it's like whoop, like it just starts going and you're like, hello. And then anyway, we're not gonna go down that tangent, but there's nothing more exhilarating, and if you're not where you want, there's still 4 hours left in the month to push through. And Mary Kay always says, shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you land among the stars. And all that means is that's gonna set up March to be way stronger. You're gonna be further ahead than when you start. And then the beauty of Mary Kay is it's not like we're heart surgeons, where like you mess up and someone dies. Like the goal never changes, right? You just maybe push it back a little bit. Like every day is a new beginning to achieve what you want to achieve. Every month is a new month. We get so many fresh starts in Mary Kay. The rest of the world just gets like New Year's. Like tomorrow's a new year. Every month is like a new Mary Kay year. So, yeah, that is all I have for you guys tonight. So does anyone, before we do our drawing, does anyone have any questions or just anything they want to share? Anything about anything I just said? But I think the big takeaway is you can achieve a lot in a very short amount of time, and you don't need to wait to make things happen. Like, you're going on target for your car this month. Jackie, you've been in Mary Kay for 2 weeks. I know a car is something that you want. You can go on target for your car this month. Julie, I know you're earning a car. You can go on target for your car this month. Like, it doesn't take a lot of time. It's just a little bit more, and just it's, attitude and your mentality is all of it. So, you can't just like think happy thoughts and then not do anything, but then you do it, and then your attitude makes those results better. All right. So, is that everyone good? Are you excited? Are you so excited about March? March is like my favorite month in Mary Kay. I think because the weather starts getting nice and the sun's out like consistently, and it's spring, and so the whole world is like alive and like waking up, and then you're like, oh. I earned my first car in March 2 years ago, so it's probably also why I like it so much. And there's always career conference in March, although ours is in April, which is fine. I still love March, but March is just, it's longer. We get 31 days. Coming off of February, we only get 28, so it's like, thanks March, like you got our back. I love March. March is a great month. I want you all to be excited about March. Yeah? Cool. Yes!